I am not dead. The Florida sun has been trying its darndest to cook me alive, but so far, she has failed. I'm sorry. I know it's been forever. It's taking me so long to get through this. I started a new contract job, and it's a big one, and then working outside in the hellscape that is Florida is sapping all of my strength. I come home and I have the audacity to sit down and I will just pass out for 3 hours. I hate it here. Anyway, that's why it's been taking me so long. That takes priority, unfortunately. I would like to be able to afford to eat. I mean, I always eat. But like surviving would be nice too. I'm like also working on a commission ceiling at the same time too. So I had like both those jobs going on at the same time. It was a lot of painting. Like I'm going for like the world record speed run for arthritis. Also, like the owner of that ceiling decided to tell me after I did all of the prep work that like there was probably lead paint on there before. So I've got toxic houses trying to kill me and deadly sun rays. Shoulder Toothless is back.
7 minutes. 7 minutes is all I can spare to play with you.
I realize that I'm looking super crusty. I'm exhausted. I'm doing this like after work on a Friday and I'm very hungry. And yeah, I could have filmed and edited last weekend since it was Memorial Day and I had the 3-day weekend. But in order to legally remain a resident of Florida, it is mandated that on Memorial Day you have to go to a beach and get shit-faced, so I did. But you don't care about that. You're here for Race to the Edge Season 4, so I'll stop dragging this out. I'm lucky I'm alone. So in the last video about 400 years ago, we left Hiccup to be unjustly murdered.
What's up, what's up, what's up? Oh!
Mala believes that he was sent here as a distraction. She's not wrong. They were just unaware of the usage. He explains this and convinces Mala to let them prove that they are anti-dragon hunter by hunting down their dragon. And as a bonus offering, he leaves only his best and brightest riders. Mala takes this opportunity to go against the one rule that her dragon-worshipping religion has, and rides a dragon. Before they take off, they are attacked and ambushed. Snotlout, in his attempt to flee, accidentally saves Mala from a permanent makeover, and she decides to marry him. She's not creepy about it at all. They find a boat, probably not Vigo's, because it is all alone. But Hiccup never passes up an opportunity to blow things up, and this act of senseless violence convinced Mala that the riders are actually pretty chill. Hiccup goes into the ship alone to play Blue's Clues. Astrid tells him to be careful. He tells her to go f*** herself and proceeds to fail at finding anything remotely useful. Mala's not cool with this result, but Snotlout, her king now, is granted one pardon to give out.
You know he only has one leg, right?
King Snotlout gives this pardon to Hiccup in exchange for a parade, because all gay people love parades. After giving Vigo at least a day's head start on them, Mala finally decides to disclose that the Eruptodon, Jim Bro that it is, needs to eat constantly. He'll eat a dormant volcano, which there just so happens to be a big old dormant volcano at Dragon's Edge of all places. So thanks for the heads up, Queen, who really works for Vigo here. They fly home to discover that the dragon hunters have invoked squatter's right. If only they had known some crucial information and maybe, I don't know, gotten there like a day sooner. Hiccup figures out a way to get past it pretty quick though, using good old-fashioned knuckle sandwiches, which Riker and Vigo aren't stoked about. He's really trying to choke him, but his hand can't even kind of fit over his neck. Jim Eruptobro is already raiding the fridge at Dragon's Edge, and the geothermal makeup of the island is not thrilled about it, so in order to make it stop, Meatlug calls her lava-spewing entourage and makes a trail of protein powder away from the volcano. They celebrate not burning alive with the Defenders of the Wing. Snotlout gets cold feet and leaves Mala at the altar, and Vigo continues to obsess over losing to a 19-year-old twink. After a peaceful night's sleep in their unburnt beds, the riders are woken up to a fate worse than death. Podcasters. As podcasters, Rough and Tough breach their people's privacy to have something to talk about.
That's private!
And read a letter that is addressed to them from their cousin Gruffnut. he's apparently coming to visit, and is, in my humble opinion, by far the worst Race to the Edge character. What is this? Put that away. It's a stretch to even call him a character. So this reused asset of a man shows up and immediately starts strutting around like his shit don't stink. It's kind of funny I used the podcaster stereotype at the beginning, because Gruffnut is basically a crypto bro grifter, but like Viking era. I guess a con man? Do you have to be good in order to be considered a con man? Because he's not. He's bragging about all the accolades and gold that he's won from various heroic adventures, and no one is buying it except for rose-colored glasses Tough, who Gruff immediately humiliates to the point that Hiccup steps in and suggests that Tough show Gruffnut around Gruffnut's island, you know, to make Tough look good in front of his hero. An act of friendship that immediately blows up in Hiccup's face and his house. I do think it's really cute that when Tough is trying to put on this persona of the coolest guy, he ends up pretending to be Hiccup, even if he is like a jerk about it. After breaking all of Hiccup's stuff, Tough comes clean, and it doesn't even matter, because Gruffnut doesn't care. Instead, he deploys some daddy issues manipulation.
You don't need to lie to impress me, Toughnut, because you already have.
And convinces the twins to show him how to fly a dragon, which totally isn't the only reason he's there. Ruff is actually totally cool with this, because she basically just tortures him for a bit. And after this afternoon of inducing revenge cardiac arrest, they leave Gruffnut to have his panic attack on the Zippleback. Zippleback panic attack. Panic, zip. The joke's right there. I don't know what it is, though. But as soon as their backs are turned, he recovers and returns to his grifter ways. Or, like, he never stopped. He grifts. He's bad. But he despicable me's it and announces his crime to try to score some style points. But he uses the foolproof, it's just a prank, bro, and gets away with it. Ruff's spidey sense is going off, so she goes to Hiccup, just in time for them to catch Ruff trying to sneak up on a sleeping toothless, which I'm pretty sure there's like a saying about waking a sleeping dragon. But I can't think of it exactly. Being caught red-handed, he once again deploys ego-stroking manipulation tactics. Unfortunately for Gruff, though, flattery does not run Hiccup's battery.
I'm a bit of an inventor myself.
I'm something of a scientist myself.
Tough shows up, and Gruff happily leaves the scene of the attempted grab and dragon napping. He leaves the dragon napping. He also invites Gruff to be on their next podcast episode. What do you know? He doesn't show up. So Tough goes and looks for him and catches Gruffnut once again trying to steal a dragon, this time Stormfly. And finally, the rose-colored glasses are removed. It owes a lot of money to like the Viking mafia. And he plans to sell their dragons to get out of it. So he elects to add another crime to his roster, and instead of stealing a dragon, steals Toughnut's identity. I guess if you're gonna impersonate anyone, Tough would be the easiest, because if you're acting a bit off, everyone would just kind of go with it. Chicken is not convinced, though, and takes it upon herself to defend the dragons. You think, like, there's the theory that chickens came from dinosaurs, right? That chickens are like the evolved form of dinosaur. Does that mean that chickens are like an evolved form or a devolved form of dragons? Because like dragons are just dinosaurs with wings and magic and whimsy. Dinosaurs are pretty whimsical. I'm moving on. Toughnut flies in, Legend of Zelda right in the Cuckoo style.
You! Yes, me.
Thinking that this is Gruffnut, since, you know, he's wearing Gruffnut clothes.
But I think I know one of my best friends when I see him.
Hiccup, we're best friends?
But if I'm here, and you're there, then who's driving the bus? Gruff is. He's out on patrol with Ruff, who has long since caught on to the stank of his bullshit. They begin to fight just as Hiccup arrives with Toughnut, and following in the footsteps of his bestie, Huff decides to take him out Hiccup style. Or he does his best. Actually, no. That's probably the most accurate Hiccup attack. He succeeds because he's got the dragon flag, whatever the number is at this point. It's gonna go up one number because Tough loses it, and eventually Tough is victorious.
Troy and Abbott in the morning.
And with Gruff gone, the base goes back to business as usual again. Vigo has lost all class and decided to put a price on Hiccup's head, which I gotta say, compared to the other artistic depictions of Hiccup in this show, the illustration used is quite flattering.
Thank you, Snotlout, for your undying support.
No, thank you, Hiccup.
But what's scarier than every bounty hunter in the archipelago coming after you? Disappointing your dad. So despite all of his friends' warnings, he goes to the 400-year Burkiversary. So Hiccup doesn't mention the bounty because Stoic reminds Hiccup that the needs of the many outweigh the needs of the few. And in Hiccup's mind, the few is him, and the many is literally anybody other than him. It's like I said before, gay people love parades. Hiccup has a paranoia-induced panic attack, and Astrid sits him down afterwards to convince him to ask his dad for help, where Hiccup again states that his dad has enough on his plate.
I'll see you in the morning.
But he doesn't, because he's been kidnapped by my favorite gay couple in this show. There's a lot of gay couples in this show, so that's a high bar, too.
Hold the poster!
These guys apparently have no idea who Hiccup is, and are quickly overtaken by another bounty hunter who does know who Hiccup is, Dagger's ex-boyfriend, Savage. I like this episode because we get to see both how capable and how uncapable Hiccup is. He's kind of a damsel. He's kind of a damsel in distress in this. He talks his way out of his first predicament, then would have had Savage beat someone who's like twice the size of him if they weren't stuck on a random boat in the middle of the ocean. The rest of the riders and Stoic catch up to the first boat, but just missed the Savage kidnapping. Hiccup tries to escape again, or at least tries to avoid the bounty hunter warranty by jumping overboard. A little too casually deciding to sleep with the fishes. Savage removes his prosthetic so that he can't run, and it makes like a toilet plunger noise when you take it off, apparently. But it doesn't matter because another bounty hunter has joined the chat. This one isn't a bounty hunter. It's Throck. He doesn't really look like Legolas at all. He just gives Legolas. I don't know why. So Queen Mala sent him to help keep Hiccup safe because she has no faith in him whatsoever. And she's correct because he gets kidnapped again. Fifth bounty hunter spawns in, kicks Throck's beautiful bum, and knocks Hiccup unconscious. So once again, riders miss the Hiccup exchange, but they do get the location of where Riker has the gold. So Mystery Emo Bounty Hunter is at this location with the damsel in distress, who once again makes an escape attempt by
she's a runner, she's a track
just
star.
kind of running away, leaving his mom's side like a child in Walmart. Little did he know that this guy is freaking Simon Belmont from Castlevania and just has a chain whip in his pants. Anyway, Hiccup's trachea has been crushed. He is taken to Riker, who, in a terrible business move, isn't going to pay Emo Bounty Hunter Man for babysitting, and is instead going to thieve the thefted from the thief. Yet another scam. The hunters all attack Emo Man. Hiccup takes this opportunity to run away again. He defaults to what he's best at, jumping off a cliff, where Hiccup, with zero hesitation, takes off his prosthetic, which Emo Bounty Hunter Man is hanging on to, who is obviously terrified and begging for his life.
What are you doing? Wait. No! No!
Like, Hiccup's kill count in this show is ridiculous. Riker's there to save Hiccup from falling to his death, and instead forces Hiccup to hop awkwardly to his death. But before he can get Hiccup off the island, Dad shows up. Riker punches Hiccup in the tummy so hard that he passes out. There's some major internal damage that we gotta look at. And then he just throws Hiccup's newly liquefied ribs onto his metal spiked shoulder and runs around with him for a bit. Toothless quickly catches up to them, does some Apex Predator shit. Riker is genuinely terrified, which is great, but Toothless elects not to end him. What is this Batman moral logic? Hiccup didn't hesitate to kill a pleading man earlier, but he actually Hiccup didn't kill him. Emo Man is alive. He even returned Hiccup's leg for him. Weird way to say thank you for trying to end your life, but okay. After healing his soup organs, Hiccup and the other riders head to Spiteloud's storehouse baby shower. Spiteloud takes this opportunity to show us that he has had 0 character development and is just as nasty as he was in the first show. When Snotlout goes to congratulate him, he reminds his son that he built this, not Snotlout. And he tells Snotlout that he needs to start brown nosing if he wants to get anywhere in life, apparently. He tells his kid that his only skill is kissing ass. He feeds Snotlout delusions that the only reason Hiccup has friends is that they're all kissing his butt to get things from him once he becomes chief. And that Snotlout better start doing the same, otherwise Hiccup's gonna leave him alone. They're not dating. He's gonna stop being friends. And also, like, ouch, like, Spiteloud really thinks that little of Hiccup. He's like, no way people actually want to hang out with this guy. And you, my beloved son, are stupid for liking him. This feeds impressionable, insecure Snotlout's anxieties. And he starts having nightmares that he will be left behind and forgotten about by his friends.
I do stuff.
So the next mission they have, Snotlout takes charge. Essentially, he goes rogue and tries to hog the spotlight, which goes... Well, they survive. Hiccup promises the rest of the team that he will play therapist for Snotlout later, but right now he needs to play drug-busting cop and find the source of all the dragon root. After being a nerd and finding the location, Hiccup follows up on his promise, but the riders are all avoiding Snotlout.
I thought you invited him.
I thought the twins invited him.
We thought Astrid invited him. I never invite him.
Also, is Fishlegs losing a strategy game to the twins? But he doesn't get the chance to, because Snotlout pulls a Dwight from The Office and pranks them with a drill. Don't unsubscribe. I never watched The Office. Yeah, I've only seen 2 scenes from it, and it was the CPR scene and the fire drill scene.
Why do sexy people like you and me have to go through so much?
After he confesses to Hiccup that he wants to be made leader of the Dragon Riders, when Stoic makes Hiccup chief, and the Nepo baby responds with, "You can't force yourself into leadership," he gives Snotlout some advice on what he needs to work on, and to his credit, Snotlout sets out to better himself. In a really lazy way, but hey, it's the thought that counts. Except I don't agree with the "you need to be trustworthy like Heather" line that Hiccup says, because she's like always abandoning them when they like need her, and she lied, and she like manipulated, and still hasn't apologized to Hiccup. I have a grudge.
Trust is like a delicate bird with feathers of silk, and yours is dead.
The riders all go to Hiccup to protest Snotlout's recent behavior, and Hiccup won't let the band break up. They need to be there for him as he goes through his alpha male phase. So Hiccup comes up with a plan to destroy the dragon root, and he lets Snotlout actually lead the training exercise for it. But Snotlout folds under the pressure, has an entire nervous breakdown, and tries to murder Hiccup.
A great leader takes what's rightfully his.
After that, he grounds himself indefinitely and becomes the sad ant with a stick meme, to which Hookfang gives him some, we'll call it tough love, which is just what he needed because he finds the dragon root arrows that he disposed of earlier and discovers that it only grows in the sun, meaning that the other riders are currently flying into a trap. So he ungrounds himself and arrives just in time to save Hiccup from being shot not once and not twice. Actually, yeah, twice. Just twice. And then he dies. They find the dragon root and destroy it.
Some plants grow in the sun, and some in the shade, and some in the partial something, and some in the also partial the something.
Snotlout has a heart-to-heart with Hiccup, saying whatever he ends up doing, it has to be what he wants, and not what his dad wants.
You know, we may not be so different after all.
Not same, because Hiccup does not have a choice. He's going to be chief whether he likes it or not. Next, we've got an A-plot, B-plot episode. Personally, I think this is just an excuse to reuse the Hiccup and Heather Party City Ninja assets, the assets that are every single one of the villagers in the Defenders of the Wing. So Heather and Hiccup get their shoulder pads on and investigate the northern markets, because the Dragon Hunters have a monopoly over it now. But their cover is blown immediately because the Hiccup has the most recognizable left leg in all of ever. But they do find Dagger there, looking great for a dead guy too. They capture him and find out that he was only working for the hunters because they have captured Shattermaster, his dragon, his green dragon. The dragon that kind of looks like the floor of a McDonald's playpen area. I don't know why he does. He looks like the little rubber chips. In the B plot, the village has set up a series of trials for Snotlout to complete in order to be king, which he's only doing because the twins said that he couldn't. Meanwhile, Hiccup figures out that the gronkles that Shattermaster was captured with are being taken to the contracted masons that make weapons for the dragon hunters. The siblings track them down, and then the three of them manage to rescue all of the gronkles.
What's going on? Where's my sister going?
Dagger sacrifices himself yet again to draw away the rest of Vigo's fleet. He gives Heather a fancy handshake promise. He'll return and dips. They got to be related because that seems like familiar behavior. Heather and Hiccup return to the island just in time to see Snotlout fail the final trial. Toothless may or may not have sabotaged it. They have a feast, they move on to destroying hunter bases, and Vigo's getting real pissy. His stocks are down, or whatever business speak. He solves this conundrum by capturing a big ol' stinky title class dragon and plops it in Burke's trading route. Johan is the only one who survives this. So yeah, like we just saw like at least three other people just die. So rest in peace. So when no supplies arrive in Burke, Stoic goes to the edge to ask Hiccup for help.
Boy.
They all go to Baldur's Gate. Sorry, the Straits of Baldur. There's no straits in Baldur's Gate.
Fishy, fishy, fish. Making it stinky.
This dragon is called a Submaripper, which is a name that my mouth does not like.
He who hath smelt it hath dealt it.
And if it was more than just gas, he hath felt it.
They return to Burke and find that everyone is starving. Hiccup and Fishlegs put their nerd brains together, try to find out a way to submerge themselves in order to melt the chains and free the Submaripper. Hiccup uses Gobber's old smelting pot to do that thing that you used to do when you were a kid in the bathtub, where you would take like the cup and put it upside down. Right down, then like all the air stays in it. So like that, but like really big. And it doesn't work.
Hello, how are you? I am under the water. Please help me.
Because after repairing it, they head straight to the Straits. But it's going too well. So Vigo arrives to make things more entertaining. Hiccup got like Spider-Man grip strength. The riders promptly bring up the pot thing, signaling to Hiccup that time's up, buddy. But not quick enough, because Vigo breaks the chain, and Hiccup is stuck on the seafloor. Toothless decides to also go down with the ship.
Tried to scream, but my head was underwater.
But the Submaripper had other ideas.
Did you get enough water? Oh.
So Hiccup stays on Burke for the midnight sun, where the sun apparently doesn't set for like 2 weeks, and the village doesn't get any sleep. They just work because it's like light and you can see what you're doing. Like Alaska. I really love light bulbs. If it were up to me and I didn't have work, this would be my work schedule probably, but with light bulbs. Hiccup doesn't need light to have a terrible sleep schedule though. So he seems pretty unaffected. The other riders were sent to the edge to bathe their dragons. Each becomes a caricature of sleep deprivation. This is basically what college finals are like if you live in a dorm.
I could stay up for weeks. What is that?
Hiccup's symptom is apparently bloodthirst. He wants to go, like, permanently sleep Vigo, which Stoic isn't super stoked about.
You love revenge. Revenge is your thing. And weren't they gonna name you Stoic the Vindictive before, well, you know.
Keep my weight out of this.
So he just goes on a flight to go clear his head, right? And he finds an injured dragon next to some permanently sleeping hunters. But it's not injured, and it has friends, angry friends. Grumpy Toothless is ready to go home. He just wants to, like, nap instead of having to save Hiccup from his own death wish constantly. A death wish that gets them stuck on a random island. And you know what's great for sleep deprivation? A long-ass hike while stuck in a canyon with bombs being hurled at you. Once they finally fly out of the cavern, they are cornered by the little lyre dragon, who all sit under the big wing of the big dragon and become, like, a military fighter jet. They escape into another cave, which turns out to be a dragon hunter outpost, where Hiccup makes a plan.
Tony Stark was able to build this in a cave with a box of scraps.
And more importantly, names the dragons Shadow Wings, which is dumb. I was going to say like a military jet name here, but I can't think of it. Hiccup enacts his plan.
Don't you know the trapper's trap can trap the trapper?
Where they're left to starve, presumably. After his nap, Hiccup is back to training with Toothless, and we are blessed with the greatest Snotlout line.
I'm filing a grievance. This is totally unfair. You manipulated my partner with your big brown eyes.
They're green.
Shut up.
Astrid and Heather reveal that Hiccup has been pushing himself and Toothless pretty much constantly since Vigo enacted Project Starve Burke to death. And I guess Hiccup is pushing himself so hard that like the other writers are starting to get concerned.
Everyone needs a rest.
Right.
So Josh is there now. He's looking for their dad. Because if I didn't kill him and you didn't kill him, who's driving the bus? Now Hiccup's the grumpy one and only cares about getting Vigo. So when Dagger gives him a location of Vigo's and Burke's gold, he's gone.
And here we go. I hope you're hungry for nothing.
They split up. Heather and Fishlegs almost smooch. And the other writers are interrupted by a net. Hiccup is taken to the principal's office so that Vigo can gloat. Terrible sportsmanship.
You may have us, but you'll never get off the island.
I beg to differ, for you see, the other raptors and I have constructed a crude suspension bridge to Venezuela. Once there, I shall lie low and assume odd jobs under the name Mr. Pilkington, but perhaps I've said too much.
Vigo is so cocky because he dragon-proofed the ships, so of course they still sink.
She's a runner, she's a track star.
But while Hiccup was in the principal's office, he figured out that the Viking ruins on the island that they were nerding out about aren't historically accurate. In fact, they're fakes. So they take it all. And Dagger takes Heather. They're like gonna go off and find their dad or whatever. Fishlegs does get his kiss, but she left without giving Hiccup an apology still. Like, am I the only one that cares about this? So without Heather, Fishlegs is back to nerding out with Hiccup about nerd things, as nerds do. A terrible terror comes in. Mala needs help. The Eruptodon had a kid and can't take care of it. The writers are now babysitters, and they have to get the egg to the sacred site in the volcano in order for it to hatch. When Hiccup and Fishlegs have their first relationship squabble over their favorite Pokemon.
Grunkles are more accustomed to lava. But Night Fury has the distinct speed advantage, don't you think?
Equipped with another outfit, Hiccup looks really dumb, both in the situation and in the outfit.
I'm not being overdramatic when I say that I would rather sit naked on a hot grill than wear something off the rack.
Fishlegs goes in with his plan. However, Mala insists that Hiccup joins them still, so the relationship drama can continue. I guess she's messy like that.
Oh my god, you know what? This is really scary.
And we have added a horror element to it now. A horror element. Not a because there's now egg-thieving demon dragons. But Mala is now convinced that she has to sacrifice herself to the volcano. But Hiccup and Fishlegs finally get on the same page. They give the egg to the demon dragons because apparently, like, that's their job. And the stinky humans were just getting in the way of nature, as like we always do. They go back to the edge and begin testing how to dragon-proof metal.
We don't rile each other up. We never get riled up. I don't get riled. He doesn't know.
When Tough tries just hitting it, and that doesn't work. So after crying for hours, Ruff finally takes Tough to Hiccups to fix it, where instead they accidentally invent the American healthcare system.
Wouldn't that be great if there was a place like that where you could go any time of day or night and you would be provided with the best medical care available?
Forget it. You die waiting in line.
True.
But instead of waiting for Hiccup to like fire up the forge and get it fixed, they fly to the northern markets and accidentally spread the rumor that they killed Hiccup. And this is his mace, and they took it off of his corpse. And while basking in their false glory, someone steals Macy and takes it onto Vigo's ship. They also go onto Vigo's ship and accidentally become undercover spies.
You working hard or hard?
At this point, the writers notice that they are gone and infer that they probably went to the place they weren't supposed to go to. Ruff and Tuff take the ship to Vigo's secret base, where he is working on Project Shellfire, which is important because it's named.
Next, we are going to steal
Ruff recognizes that they have to tell the writers about this, but Tuff is too materialistic and continues his hunt for Macy.
I suppose they could have been girls.
My goodness.
Ruff tests the ladder theory, which works for like about 2 seconds, and then she is taken to the principal's office. And like, Ruff never gets enough credit, guys. Of course she's not gonna sell anyone out.
Take your best shot, pal.
And what is this Dark Souls boss voice?
Once we're finished, the riders will burn and their dragons will be the torches.
Dude's in the wrong show. Realizes Ruff was right, takes his plan from the hunters instead of Macy, and saves Ruff, or tries to. The other riders arrive. They should really have like multi-tools on, like a pocket knife at the very least, guys. So they all get lured into this fishbowl and chained in, even though I'm pretty sure that they could easily fit out of those holes. Tuff is outside. He gets barf and belch. They destroy the chain netting, and they all escape and hold a funeral for Macy. On to most people's favorite episode in the show, and something that my sibling talked about in therapy. The National Weather Service reports a hurricane coming that night, and the Florida man that she is, Astrid, decides she can take it and gets struck down by Thor himself. Hiccup brings her back, and when she wakes up, she can't see. Her pupils were like super dilated by the lightning, I guess is the theory here, like post eyeball exam, but for the foreseeable future, or the forehearable future. As my youngest sibling, when we were watching this episode, they developed a fear of lightning, specifically the lightning blinding them, and so for the longest time, anytime there was a storm happening, they would just like close their eyes through the whole storm. I'm pretty sure Fish Legs got killed by the door right there. The dragons, inspired by Astrid's Florida man ways, also venture into the storm, and it's up to Hiccup to find them. Of course, Astrid wants to join, but Hiccup cares about her safety way too much, and nothing can change his mind.
I am putting my foot down. Remind me never to put my foot down again.
It was this moment that gave hundreds of children and teens their romantic awakening to Hiccup. Or Astrid, if you swing that way. The romantic awakenings to Astrid happened the second she came on screen in the first movie. And I think Hiccup can be a lesbian if he wants to. There's a level of twink in which you just become an honorary lesbian. Like, am I wrong?
I love your personality. I love your personality. You're so funny. Yeah, you like it because you're gay. Because I'm a big dog.
The other riders are hunting for their dragons on foot. And another dragon, fun fact, apparently they're all terrified of thunder. I had a Great Pyrenees growing up who was also terrified of thunder, to the point that he would like chew through the gate. He was so huge too. He would like, if he wanted to break down the door, he would. And ironically, his name was Thor. The twins, empaths that they are, try to put themselves in Astrid's situation in order to be better friends. They end up channeling Hiccup instead. Astrid defies Hiccup's dragon knowledge for her dragon bond, saying Stormfly is more worried about Astrid than herself, which, you know, is why she immediately left you as soon as you got blown up, because she cares. At least that's my parents' logic. Oh no, she's falling. If only a big strong Viking could scoop her up. Oh no, he's falling with her. And they're on top of each other, staring into each other's eyes. Well, no, I guess not that bit. What K-drama nonsense is this? And Astrid has superpowers. She's got the daredevil senses now. But Stormfly still doesn't care. Wait, Stormfly threw her right into the path of this dragon. What the hell?
You stink!
Stormfly's straight up trying to kill Astrid in this, I swear. Astrid's butthurt about not being able to help in the fight. And literally butthurt. And boy-brained Hiccup is like, this is the perfect time to make my move.
If you think you're stronger than me, then why don't you squeeze me with your biceps and see if I can get out or not?
I love how Snotlout rides Bark and Belch. It's like a child on the swings. It's like kicking his legs. It's so cute. Hiccup's dragon training has just devolved into set the dragon on fire, but Matt Murdock uses her super hearing to save the day and does the Hiccup hand thing, trademark pending. Gothi arrives to give Astrid some eye drops, and she's good as new. And Hiccup and Astrid go romantically watch the sunset together. It is kind of weird that Astrid only fell for Hiccup whenever she couldn't see him. What the hell? We don't talk about Toothless and Stormfly's friendship enough. I don't see him do this with any other dragon. Only Stormfly. Well, like, at least not in this show. Toothpaste can kiss my scrawny bum. And speaking of kissing... Anyways, war. Hiccup cooks up a plan to take down Vigo once and for all, and Burke is going to help him execute it. Astrid gives him the daddy issues line.
I'm really proud of you.
While he stands like an absolute baby girl bottom. Represent, I guess. And he's having a baby girl panic attack when Fish Legs barges in, which is bad because they're hiding their work relationship from HR. It's too much paperwork. I guess his plan was so good that, like, Hiccup didn't even really need to attack them. Vigo, after being discovered in a hole, an asshole, because he's the ass in the hole.
I'm sorry, did I miss something?
He blames Riker turned all of his men on him, you know, because he was losing so hard.
Yacht! Oh, I'm so sorry. I had something in my lying throat!
And no one here is going to believe Liar McLieface. So they believe him. And they take him to the Defenders of the Wing. Assuming because Hiccup has first-hand knowledge of their justice system. There's babies, there's bombs. Where bombs? Nowhere bombs.
Failed you.
You sure did, Throckman.
They head back to the edge, where they make a plan to intercept Riker on his way to Outcast Island. They do encounter him, waving his tidy-whities and crying the same sob story that Vigo did. Before they can get too much information, Disney World's firework display launches over Berserker Island. They gotta get more creative with these island names. We need more itchy armpits in this world.
Hiccup is dying. I can tell. He's on death's door, and he's knocking, and death's home, but he's changing, and
they're not dying. They're spending all this time together because Hiccup clearly has a gambling problem.
Snotlout's not wrong. He does have a gambling problem. Just, you know, like, gambling his life. They finally catch up with the shellfish. Shellfire. The shellfish fire. Well, yeah, fish. Dragonfish ship. Submarine outfit for fish dragon. It swims away because it's a fish dragon, and it's because it's a submarine fish dragon. I think we've established that, Percy.
The weapon, it's really powerful, especially against living things.
So Hiccup reverts to his isolation mode and is rudely interrupted by Vigo, who they lost when the Defenders of the Wing was being attacked. Did he swim there? Doesn't matter, because he's got Riker's receipts. And he gives them to Hiccup under the condition that he shadows Hiccup for the day. They take the Dragon Eye, they lock him up anyways, and he's like personally offended by this. What? You don't trust me? I let you borrow my favorite toy. It's not like I've tried to kill you like a million times and everyone that you love, and I want you dead. With Vigo out of the way, they now focus on defending the edge from Riker. And the plan? Hide under the bed and hope they go away. It doesn't work. Everyone regroups in the clubhouse, like, everyone. But
how did you get out?
My friend, Snotlout, was good enough to allow me to use the facilities.
When you gotta go, you gotta go. And who knows that better than me?
The Riders counterattack and are somehow still surprised that the Dragon Hunters are abusing dragons. It's like in the name, guys. Hiccup says something along the lines of course they put the submarine on the dragon. They know that we won't attack the dragon. And I'm pretty sure that the main benefit is the Wumbo rain of destruction that it burps out. Destruction that is currently burning down the stables, which also burned down like 2 episodes ago. So bad time to be a stable. For a holding cell of fire-breathing creatures, it sure likes to catch on fire. And the fire-breathing creature in there right now is Vigo. And Hiccup doesn't want the paperwork of, you know, someone dying in his holding cell, so he rescues him from Snotlout's terrible comprehension skills.
Who said don't let him out no matter?
I will go out with him so he can stab me in the back without an audience. And it seems he regrets it immediately, but not because of the danger. Vigo is just like the biggest chess club nerd. He seems like he'd be into Magic the Gathering for some reason. He also apparently works for the HR department because he gives Hiccup all sorts of shit about dating Astrid. At this point, Hiccup is wishing for an end to the misery that is being alone on a car ride with a self-aggrandizing egomaniac know-it-all, and Vigo grants that wish, or tries to. Astrid ruins it, to which Vigo returns to toddler logic. I wasn't going to stab him. I was always going to drop it. I was going to drop it the whole time. This was my original plan. Also, Shattermaster dies. Glad we rescued them earlier in the season. The other riders continue to fight the hunters. Windshear decides Heather needs a bath, but the Submaripper from earlier has returned, making it stinky. I guess they have like ancestral dragon beef with each other. Hiccup calls Vigo fat and abandons him. Also, Shattermaster has been replaced. Riker also dies, but the dragon killed him, so it's fine. And the volcano is active again because of all the booms. Vigo wants to swap his true love for Hiccup's true love. Anakin Skywalker's himself in the process, which Hiccup doesn't seem too concerned about.
Are you okay?
Yeah.
Granted, not a very nice man, but like still, Sir Batman morals. They make out at the murder scene, get HR's approval, and then fly out into the sunset. Not a peaceful sunset though. I guess the arch nemesis to vengeful spirit turnaround time is pretty quick nowadays. And at the end, I don't have an outro. So if we think back to like why is my pinky up? If we think back to the 5 years ago, that was the last video. I asked you what everybody's hidden talents were, and they were all fantastic. The one that stands out in my brain, Hiccup's hidden talent is just like fixing shit. No, I can fix it. Have I ever upholstered something? No, but I can fix it. I can fix it. Don't buy a new TV stand. I can make one. Will it take me a couple of years and I might chop off my fingers? Yes, but it will be made. I don't have a prompt for this one. Let's steal the Percy Jackson prompt. We haven't done that one yet. What energy drinks are we giving each of the writers? Off the top of my head, I can't think of any. Red Bull, all of them. Except for Fish Legs. He's got weird teas that nobody's ever heard of. Why'd I go with Red Bulls? I don't even like Red Bulls. Have I had a Red Bull? I don't think I've ever had a Red Bull. I have had a Red Bull, because I've had a Jaeger bomb. And that's in Red Bull, I think. Yeah. They all get that fancy Viking edition of the monster flavor that is at Burke. Not real Burke, fake Burke. Orlando Burke. I'm really tired, so I'm gonna go to bed. That's a lie. I'm going to go draw because my hands don't hurt enough. I'm going to be doing some other videos, other topics, because I realized that I've only covered 2 topics. And dude, it's freaking Pride Month, guys. We need some gay videos. We need to be gay. So I'm gonna be gay. And hopefully, I know, like, give me some grace, because like this contract job that I took is huge. I'm in the parks again, so it's very big, and it does take priority, like I said earlier. So please be nice to me if I do vanish. If you do want to keep up with me, Instagram I think is where I post the most. TikTok is where I post the least. Also, Patreon, I'm not posting to the paid Patreon anymore because I am so inconsistent, and I don't think I'll be able to keep up with the paid Patreon. I feel bad that you guys are like giving me money and I'm not giving you content. So like, I'm just gonna post to the Patreon are just gonna be for everybody. If you do have $2 extra a month that you want to give me, then like I won't complain. That'll buy me some coffee. I do enjoy coffee. You know what? No, just don't pay me because I cannot guarantee giving you guys content, and that makes me feel really bad. So put your well-earned money towards yourself. Buy yourself coffee, and I mean that. Unless you don't like coffee, then yeah, save up for a book or something. Nice. Anyways, thank you. I don't even know if the work that I put into this is going to mean anything, because I'm pretty sure I went so long without posting that the YouTube algorithm is going to kill me. And, but for the, like, if you are here, I love and appreciate you, and good job doing whatever you're doing. Oh, I know, I remember. Okay, I got a couple comments on my other video saying that you guys like to turn I almost said turn me on. Turn this on and play this whenever you're doing artwork. I'm so sorry. I just poked him in the eyeball. Are you okay? But I want to see your art, like desperately. Like I love art so much, and that's so freaking cool. So if you have art projects that you're working on while you're watching this, or even just that you're just working on in general and you're proud of, like, please tag me in that, because I want to see it, because I think that's so cool. So if you are drawing, doodling, painting, working on a car, giant cardboard fort, a cure for cancer, take a picture, tag me in it. I want to see it. Please and thank you. Okay, cool, awesome. All right, we feeling good. We got our little community going, our own little village here. Yeah, so I'm gonna shut up so I can go eat some food, because I do feel like I'm about to pass out, and it's raining outside, and I want to see the rain. Yeah, anyways, don't do crimes. Bye-bye.